Alrighty, what is going on YouTube? Welcome back to another video. We're in the Porsche. I hope you're having an amazing day. I'm having an amazing day. Anytime I get to get out here and drive the Porsche is an amazing day, you guys. So, on the agenda for today, I figured we just kind of cruise up and down the coast and kind of talk about the Porsche a little bit. The last couple of videos, I haven't really dove too deep into the car, just kind of introduced it, and then after that, like, briefly talked about like plans and stuff. But I kind of want to talk about the car, like how it is now that I have it, what it's like to drive, and you know, just kind of take you through the process while I cruise up and down the coast here. So just a refresher, this is my 1988 Porsche 944 Turbo, otherwise known as the Porsche 951. This particular car has a ton of miles. It has just over 250,000 miles, which is a ton, but thankfully it's clean title. Not the owner I picked it up from, but the owner the guy I picked it up from bought it from. That guy bought it, I believe, not running, and was just a super passionate guy for these cars. And so he went through and did a lot of work to kind of bring this car back to the condition it is now. And thankfully, considering the miles, having gotten in touch with that guy made me feel a little more comfortable with making the purchase. So that owner, from my understanding, I got in touch with him and I got to talk to him about the stuff he did while he had it, all of which I believe has been done like since the pandemic. I think everything has been done in the last couple of years, which makes me feel really good. But he pulled the oil pan off. He replaced the rod bearings, did an oil pan reseal. From my understanding, he replaced the timing belt. I believe the balance shaft belt as well. This car has fresh suspension. It has brand new brakes, brand new tires. And so this car, unfortunately, I don't really have another 944 to compare to, but this car, for being a over 30-year-old car, feels really, really, really solid. I was blown away when I picked it up and was driving it home, just how like good this car felt. My very first car ever, it's kind of funny, my first car ever was actually an 80s E30. It was a BMW E30. And granted, back then I bought that car almost a decade ago, and that one at the time, you know, I was in high school or just graduating high school. I didn't make the kind of money I'm making now, and so that car was kind of a pile. It was kind of a pile of trash. And so I don't know, I guess maybe I was a little jaded. You know, I don't get out and drive a bunch of these cars like every day. And so when I picked this up, I think maybe I just had like low expectations for it, and I was more stoked on the fact that I just liked these cars. And it wasn't until I picked it up that I realized how dialed this car is and just how good Porsche did with designing this car and just how balanced it is. And being the turbo model, I mean, dude, this thing, it kind of rips, dude. Like the couple of times that I've taken it out and kind of pushed it a little bit, it blows me away every single time I drive it. So super stoked on that. Yeah, man, compared to the F10, this thing is like, dude, night and day. I know the last couple of videos have been me driving the F10, and I've mentioned that this car is just more geared for like driving in like through canyons and back roads and spirited driving and stuff. And now that I'm here driving it again, I don't drive this car every day, but now that I'm driving it right now, I mean, it still holds true. Like I'll go to the grave with that statement, man. This car is just so more geared for like spirited driving, and just it's meant to be driven. Whereas again, the F10 I think is more just focused for like comfortability and long drives and just daily driving around town and stuff. It's more suited for that. At least the model I have. I don't have the M5 or the 550 even. So, but yeah, this car, it makes me so excited to finally dig into this car and see like what this car is capable of. I'm trying to figure out the best way to go about this, but the route I want to go with this car is I'd really, really, really like to do some sort of mild track build. I've never really built a car for that. Like throughout all of my ownership of my BMWs, and then now including this car, I've done the like stance car thing. I've done like the, you know, comfortable driving thing. But like the one thing I haven't really done is built a car to focus on its driving capabilities. And this car already just kind of coming out of the factory being built for that, I'd like to emphasize on that and kind of take it to that next level and see what it can do. I don't know if it will be a dedicated track car, but man, if I can even get it out to a track even a few times, that would be like so awesome, because I've never ever taken any car out on a track. I've never been out on a track myself, never even test driven with somebody on a track. And so I think it'd be really cool. I think this car is more than capable, and I think it's just a matter of like triple checking and really bulletproofing this car to make sure I don't take it out and blow it up, you know, my first run. So I think that's where I want to do with it. I think it'll be really fun, and I think documenting that process will be really rad for you guys. I know that, or rather, in the meantime, I will still be like trying to install parts. There's a couple things on the car that I need to address. The rear tail lights both have water inside of them. I have a weird problem where at certain, I don't want to say RPMs because it doesn't happen like RPM based, but sometimes when I'm like giving it gas and I'm kind of like pushing it, the car will like sputter and like want to like not go essentially. And I'm not sure if maybe there's like a worn part on my AFM, my airflow meter, or if maybe my fuel pump is starting to get clogged or something, but I need to address that. One thing that I don't think has been addressed on this car, and who knows, man, this car is, like I said, like 30 plus years old. Maybe it has, but I have no record of it, is the head gasket. I don't know if this car has ever had a head gasket job, and I think if I'm going to go out and I'm going to push this car and really like work it, I think it would be worth doing that and just, you know, again, triple checking and making sure that the car is capable and can handle what I want to do with it. Especially now, it's like, it's coming into summertime where I'm at, and so if I happen to get the car out even in the next 6 months, it's going to be hot, right? And so I think it'd be worth doing that. I got to figure out a good place to do that. And while I'm in there, you know, maybe I'll consider doing some upgrades. I know there's a lot of cool websites and places to buy parts specifically for this model. I mean, this car has like a pretty gnarly following, and a lot of people are still keeping the car alive, the platform alive, by like offering parts and making sure that you can still get things to keep this car on the road. And so I think it would be really rad to, if I get that far, if I start tearing the engine apart while I'm in there, maybe looking at upgrading the turbo, maybe doing a like MAF conversion, installing boost gauge and like AF sensors and gauge, so I can monitor all of that. And I don't know, man, I think that would be really rad. That's, like I said, a direction with a car that I haven't gone yet. And so I think it would be really cool to kind of do all that stuff and learn myself. So that way, if not this car, maybe another car in the future where I really, really get into like building a very dedicated track car, I'll have a better understanding of what to do. But in the meantime, man, just cruising this car, it feels good. It's super fun. I'm having a good time. And just anytime at all, I'm able to get this car out and even just cruise the coast like I'm doing right now. I'm not going through any back roads or any, you know, I'm not running it or anything. It's just so fun, man. Like I said, I think I might have mentioned this in either the first video, not the first video, but the second video, about how I just didn't know what I was missing until I got it with this car. With the F10, like I said, I've always wanted to build one of those cars, but it wasn't until I got this car that I really realized like how much I just miss the driving experience. And while the F10, I can, sure, like I could physically take that car out and just go cruise anytime I want, but it's so hard to explain, man. Like unless you know what I'm talking about, unless you like share like the feeling I have. Like, it's hard to explain. It's kind of hard to put into words about how it's just cool to have a car that is built and its purpose is to like be driven and like fun, like aggressively almost. And the F10, sure, you can do it. It's just not made for that. It wasn't designed for that, and this car was. And so just having the car like this, how it is, dude, it's really rad, and like it puts a smile on my face every time. And just listen to it, dude. Check it out. Dude, this car is so much fun, you guys. Damn, dude. Dude, for a 30-plus-year-old car, dude, this thing, it goes. I'm shocked. Yeah, dude, this is nothing crazy today. Like, I think it's rad, these little driving videos. I don't see a lot of like really new 944 content, and I thought this would be a cool idea, man. So I really hope you enjoyed the video. I know I've been kind of chatting a lot from, you know, here we go, going on 12 minutes or whatever, but if you stuck around, I appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed this kind of like driving video, kind of talking video. Hopefully soon I'll have parts to be throwing at this car. I've kind of been holding off because, like I said, I'm kind of still figuring out like what the end goal is for this car. And so I'm like figuring out like, do I like what parts do I start off with? Do I get like the things that I can see immediately handled, like the lights and like the, you know, I have like my front bumper kind of sags a little bit because the like support piece in the middle broke, but things like that. Or do I start with like the engine stuff, which I know most of you guys like are saying like, duh, do the engine stuff. But where I live, I can't, I've explained this before, but where I live, I can't really take apart and do like engine things. Like it's not really, I don't have approval to be making messes like that, like pulling engine stuff apart, unfortunately. And so I can do it, and that I agree is the way to do it first, but until I can figure out a place to do it, I'm kind of like, you know, stuck trying to figure out what to do first. And that's why I haven't got any parts for the car yet. And that's why I haven't really been, you know, making more videos on this. And so, but things are coming. I have things planned, and hopefully you guys are stoked to follow along for that, because I think it'll be really rad. Yeah, man. Anyways, if you made it this far, like I said, again, thank you. I hope you enjoyed these kind of videos. Like I said, they're really easy. They're super simple. Maybe the next one will be just me like cruising and no talking, and just you can enjoy the way the car sounds and stuff. But yeah, man, I will catch you guys in the next video. Peace.